This Sunday, we'll continue our study of Genesis as we look at Genesis chapter 12. And we'll hear about Abraham. Now, Abraham's name at first was Abram until God later changes it. But Abraham was a man who was so faithful to God. But he didn't start out that way. He started out as a man who sinned and struggled in life and was sad because he had no heirs, no children. And later on, God promises him, you will have as many descendants as stars in the sky. I will give those to you. And at first, Abraham doesn't really believe him, and then he kind of comes around. And so as he comes around, his faith just grows so much, and his story is so powerful and so important in Scripture. He is such a faithful man that he later is put into the Hall of Fame of Faith in Hebrews chapter 11, which is a huge deal. But it shows us through his story that God doesn't just want to use Abraham for Abraham's own good, but he wants to bring blessings to all the families of earth through that. And so as Abraham goes on and listens to God and becomes more and more obedient, we see how Abraham's faith and obedience and dependence on God doesn't just change his life, but starts a journey that leads us to Christ. In Matthew, we hear the genealogy of Jesus. And so it starts with Abraham and goes to Jesus, which is a huge deal. Can you imagine just God choosing you to do that, to be the line of Jesus? That is amazing. So we'll hear on Sunday about Abraham and his story. So as you're prepping for Sunday, maybe you're prayerfully reflecting and asking for forgiveness or things like that. But maybe try and include studying or reflecting on Genesis chapter 12 when you get the chance this weekend. And as you're reflecting, maybe think about how you can be more obedient and faithful to God. How can you have faith in God in the way that Abraham did? God's not promising us that we'll have descendants, as many descendants as stars in the sky. But God promises to be there for us. So how can you be faithful to him? We'll see you Sunday.